Okay, with Robles, Dark Room is the short film. Played at the Horror Film Festival. It's a black and white, really kind of creepy, scary film, which is what you want, right? You wanted to make a kind of a creepy, scary film.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted it to be unnerving, just get under people's skin, and yeah, I wanted them to be able to, clinch a little bit, but at the same time, I wanted people to remember it after the film. You know, I wanted it to be like long lasting,
Yeah.
and for what it seems like it's definitely getting that effect, which is awesome. I'm very happy with you know since it came out, different festivals, different people just watching it and just letting me know what they think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely getting the point across that I wanted to.
Well, you kind of use the technology that we have today to your advantage with the solid sound design, I guess, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So tell me
And
about like
with it being
like
my first film, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to
oh
cut you off.
go ahead,
But
keep
no,
going.
I just wanted to let you know. I mean, it was my first film. My cinematographer, it was his first film ever. Shooting a film too. So it was kind of a learning process in the whole, shooting the film itself.
Yeah.
And, but in the end, once I was done editing it and it was done, I just started submitting it to festivals right away. I didn't know what to expect. And man, it's been very successful and I'm very happy.
So what was your experience before making this film, like in the film industry?
Well, before the I made this film, I wasn't in the industry at all. I was just writing books actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I was writing like a bunch of like horror novellas, short stories, stuff like that. And, it just wasn't like the environment just wasn't as welcoming as like here in the film industry. I hit the ground with my feet running, and right away I met a lot of really cool people, and they embraced me and my film that I did make, and they've helped me create other films. A lot of actors, other directors. I've helped them with producing and stuff like that
Yeah.
too. So it's been awesome.
So you're part of the this is in Tucson, correct?
Tucson, Phoenix.
So the
Yeah,
Arizona
and I'm trying to
was
branch out to other states as well.
okay, great. But how is the film industry in Arizona in general?
Surprisingly, it's really big and it's strong, and I love it. There's a lot of excellent filmmakers here in Arizona, and I love that. I mean, even though I guess you can kind of say we're kind of competition, we were making horror films. There's other horror filmmakers. It's not like we don't really, we're still friendly with each other.
Yeah.
We're not, like in other industries that I've noticed, when you're in like the same genre, usually you don't get along with your competitors. So
I
just
find
being
that
in the film
interesting.
industry and having, these people, that are, they help you, they want you to be successful too. So that's awesome.
Gotcha. And so, but horror is your genre of choice, I guess.
Right now, yeah. I mean, I've been asked if I would be willing to do anything else. I mean, I'm open minded. You know, I would love to do like some kind of a documentary or something down the line. Maybe even a different genre other than horror. Another one that really kind of stands out to me is like I love comedy films, and uh, I've kind of I try to put it in like some of my films, but at the same time, like I don't really want to do that, like horror comedy. I
Yeah.
want to I want to just do like strictly a comedy that has nothing to do with the horror genre. So we'll see what happens in the future.
So tell me about like your one actor. He's kind of acting by himself, so to speak. Tell me
Uh,
about finding this actor. He even shaves on camera. So tell me about finding this gentleman.
so Chris Rivera, I've known him for years. We go back to like our jujitsu days. You know, just here in the same city. Um, I actually had seen that he had gotten into the acting business before I got into making films, but he was doing like the westerns.
Yeah,
So like when I approached him and I asked him, like, hey man, like I want to make a film and this is what I want to do. He was like wide open to it because like he loves like the horror genre and like he likes like the A24 films, stuff like that. So like he was like, I want to do something different, obviously from a western. So this is obviously not a western. So he was right aboard on board for it, and it was funny because you brought up the shaving.
yeah,
Uh, it was actually for another part for a film that he was going to be a part of, and he had actually gotten a haircut and like to kind of to keep you know the 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 feeling going in the film. Like well, I wanted it to kind of be like he was changing like his look. Like I mean, it's kind of like when Britney Spears shaved her head.
yeah.
That kind of.
Too young for that though. That's like that was like, are you? You must be too young for that when that craziness happened. No.
Oh no, I'm 35, man.
Okay.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah, that was a sad situation.
Yeah, it was very sad, and
Because
that's exactly that's exactly
for
what I
that.
wanted to come across in my film.
Yeah. Well, it's because like, how did he? Did you talk to him about like it's hard to really kind of rehearse this performance, right? So, how did he
Exactly.
get into this mental state that he was in?
You know, the first day we shot, and I just told him, hey, this is what I want. Um, he nailed it on the first try, and like after we were done filming for the day, um, he just told me like, hey, like thank you. He's like because I needed to get out a lot of frustration and anger that I had built up,
Yeah,
like for certain situations that he had going on in his life. He could have felt like he finally had like a release, where he could feel like he was going crazy because I mean technically he was going crazy in the film.
yeah.
So, like he was able to unload those emotions and I mean so a lot of the stuff that you see in the film, I mean it's real, it was real for him because he was really unloading a lot of emotion.
So, according you mentioned it before, but even in your blog interview, you're talking about you wrote a lot of books. You wrote the book. Like are you going to take some of those stories and turn it into films?
Well, yeah, definitely I would love to. I like the first idea I had as a book, it was the Red Room Requiem. That was going to be my new book.
Okay.
And then that was when I was like, you know what? No, I want to make a movie. So Red Room Requiem, I actually just finished shooting that earlier this year. It's actually the second part to Dark Room.
Okay.
So Dark Room was the prequel um to Red Room Requiem. So like at the end of Dark Room, when he's standing in the doorway and the red light turns on, that's kind of like a just kind of like a little, I guess you can call it just one of those like what are they called like in a film when you see a certain like like the red light, it's supposed to just be like, okay, like it means something. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that means Red Room Requiem. Okay, like now people understand that. Now that I actually put, that into perspective, and I made the new film.
But that's a feature, right?
Um, I wanted it to be a feature. It only uh it's like a longer short.
Oh, it says
It's not,
on your it says on your film Freeway that it's a feature.
yeah, it was supposed to be, but it only came out to 35 minutes. So, I mean, it kind of depends on who you ask. A lot of people
That's
are like, it's just a long short.
yeah, that's a short. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I wanted it to be over an hour originally, but when it was all said and done, that's what was done when we were done editing. And I mean, I wasn't going to add to it. I just felt like it was perfect. Um, I'm just waiting for it. It's getting scored right now, by Will Musser.
Okay. So you're like so
Yeah.
you did
So,
this film you did, and then you've done some other shorts, a couple more shorts since. So you're on your way. You're ready. This is your new industry, I guess, right?
yes, sir. I did thaumaturgy, which is like just kind of like a black magic type of
Yeah.
film. What else did we? I did Red Room Requiem. I'm not really associated with the film. I actually got to take it off my film freeway. Was collected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking that off. Just not like associated with certain people on it anymore. Don't want to be associated with the film. So, I mean, things
Happens,
happen.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's I have Red Room Requiem. It's almost done. Um, and then I just wrote a script um about like basically he's kind of like a demon slayer type of like he approach like the approach is instead of like doing the exorcisms, like he actually goes and kills the demons. Like he's
Okay.
able to do that. So it's pretty cool. Like there's like an outbreak of possessions,
Yeah.
and like the church actually comes to him. They're like, we don't like your style really, but we really need your help type thing. And
Do you think the church actually does that?
I mean, if it came down to it, I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, I don't see. I mean, if they're running out of options, I can see them running to somebody like one of like my character. But in the end, my character ends up getting possessed, and like the person that he like our only hope, he ends up getting possessed, and just kind of goes on a killing spree. So
Yeah. It reminds it's kind of a metaphor for your political system right now. I think.
I like that. I didn't even think about that, but that's a good one.
Yeah, that was my thought. That was my first thought process, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. You could take
I
that in
mean,
any way you want to take that. So like you have so obviously this is something you all like you remember when you first watched your first horror film, like how old you were? Because we just had a
oh
festival.
yeah, I was. Oh man, I mean, I was a little kid because I grew up with my older sister, obviously, and my older uncle. He was like a older brother to me,
Yeah.
and like they would put on stuff and stuff we weren't supposed to be watching. Like the Leprechaun or like the old Halloween films or The Exorcist, and because I mean we grew up like really religious and stuff, so I mean
Yeah.
all that stuff was the devil. Um, and it's funny because I mean, like how I turned out. I mean, I listen to metal, which is like the devil's music, supposedly. I make horror films with demons and serial killers,
What do your
and
parents think about this then?
I mean, they support me 100%. I
Yeah.
mean, they wanted my last premiere, And I mean that was actually the first time they had seen something I made, one of my films. Because Darkroom had been done for like over a year, and like that, none of them had seen it.
Yeah. So they can't
Uh,
they're okay with the Devil's film and the Devil's music now, I guess, one would assume.
I mean, to a certain extent,
Yeah.
I like to push my mom, especially my mom. I like to push her buttons, but in the end, she knows it's all just jokes, and she knows I love her.
Yeah, totally. But like, so this is something you're like, yeah, this is something that popped in your brain very early, right? So like
Oh
this,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, honestly, um, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
yeah.
like today, it's one of my favorite films. But when I was young, it was not. Like I remember watching it, and I actually slept with a baseball bat next to my bed because I thought Leatherface was going to come and get me. And like I was terrified. Um, and but the thing that terrified me the most, like, I mean, this was up until like adulthood. Like just recently, I got over it, but was aliens.
The second
Um,
one?
no, just like like the gray aliens with the big black eyes.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I thought you meant the movie. Okay, yeah,
Oh no, I mean those movies were awesome.
yeah,
I totally can get into. I got into those. No, but like the whole gray alien with the big eyes, and
yeah,
I watched something when I was young, and it scarred me, man. it,
yeah.
it just did something that like you couldn't even put like a little toy in front of me. I totally freak out.
Well, that's not
But
good. Because we asked you what movie you watched the most times in your life, and you said as an adult, you were very specific. As an adult, it's American Psycho. And
oh yeah, definitely.
is that a horror film?
It's under the horror genre. It's more of
Yeah,
a, I would
it's a
say, more of like
satire.
a psychological
Yeah.
satire type of
I should
film.
watch that movie again. I loved it when I first saw it. I thought it was amazing.
Did you hear they're remaking it?
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I'm a little peeved on that. I mean, when it comes to remakes,
Why
I'm
would they
just
remake
peeved on
that?
that in general. Exactly.
It's a
I
perfect film,
mean,
right?
exactly. I mean, Christian Bale nailed it. I mean, why do you want to ruin? I mean, they already ruined it by making a second one.
But he's on the second one, right? That's nobody
No,
in the first movie's in the second one.
no. Supposedly, the girl that's like the killer in the second one kills Patrick Bateman.
Oh, of course.
So that was kind of lame. Like Patrick Bateman's not supposed to die. Like,
Yeah, but that's the new generation, right? They're saying that he can't get away with his misogyny, right? So no, I'm just like I'm not trying to get woke now, but it's like you know what I mean? Like leave it alone,
no,
right? So
exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. Uh, yeah, but like when it comes to remakes, though, like I saw the new Salem's Lot today.
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it
No,
or you've seen the original.
it's not the original, yeah.
Original was fantastic. The new one, it could have been rated PG, honestly.
Yeah.
Uh, it was. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it's just not like why did they remake it? Like it was. Just, I felt like it was a waste of time. Like only because I mean, again, it wasn't a terrible movie, but at the same time, I wish I would have done something else for that almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because yeah,
Well, I think this you're on to something, obviously. I'd love to see your next film. Hope to see you submit. And yeah,
definitely.
I think that this is fantastic. It's like not an easy film that you made because it can easily go wrong, but you pulled it off. And in being your first film, that's kind of amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't know what to expect. Um, going in. But like once I had it all pieced together and I edited it and everything was good to go, um, like I looked at my friend Matt and it was just, my cinematographer, and he's like my assistant director, my partner in crime. And it's just like, dude, like we did it. Like we made a short film, and it, like I have all these trophies in my house, you know, for best director. I won like filmmaker of the year for it,
That's amazing.
up in India, uh, at one of the festivals. Like, so like, I mean, it's won a decent amount of awards, man. And, you know, when I first did that, I was expecting to get booed off the stage, right away.
Well, or
Cause
not even accepted, I guess, right? That's like even worse.
exactly, like people just be like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't for you, obviously. So, to be embraced and, just all the positivity, all the love, especially from festivals, the festivals, man, that's probably been my favorite part of it all, just being a part of the festivals.
The last question for you is that we send the audience to you. What did you think of our audience, the audience feedback video that we sent you?
I was nervous at first because that was like the first time I had like an audience, like give like their feedback type thing. And I watched it and like I had tears in my eyes, man. It was beautiful. Like just to hear these people what they had to think, or what they had to say about my film, and it was just like, wow, it's just like these people actually, they're loving what they're seeing, and it's just like, they're giving their words and like their perspectives of it. So it was awesome, man. And that's why like I'm gonna continue to submit to this festival. To keep getting stuff like that, the same, um, the crowd into it, and get their perspectives on other films.
Yeah.
Because for me, that was just a great first experience. So I'm looking forward to it in the future for my other ones.
Cool. Well, on that note, I wish you the best of luck, and I can't wait to see your next film. And keep making movies.
Awesome. I appreciate you, man.
Thanks.